Hello, very good evening out. A very good evening to all of you. Is my voice audible? If you can just comment in the comment box. Is the screen visible and the voice audible to everyone? Is the screen visible and my voice audible to everyone? You can just comment in the comment box. Thank you. So we will start the today's session, and today's session is going to be very important, right? So how we frame the answers, how we write the answer, right? That is very important in the today's session. And we'll discuss a lot of things, right? Because this session is all about how you can think, right? How you can brainstorm with the process when you see the question, how you have to go on to that question, and what are the content that you have to write. That is very important, right? So we will discuss a lot of things in this today's session. That will be a powerful, right? 45-minute session, right? And we will discuss, and that will give you all people a clarity with the thing that how you can attempt the answer whenever some question comes in front of you. How do, right? You need to analyze the question and how you should attempt the answer. What should be your thought process with the right answering the particular question? Why few people can think, why few people cannot think, why people can inculcate a good number of points, while certain number of students cannot inculcate good number of points. So we will discuss all these things in this today's session. This 45-minute session will be very, very, very important for all those serious aspirants who are targeting the examination this year, right? So we will discuss one by one. Just we'll wait for the 2 minutes and we will start the today's session. Okay, so we will now start with the today's session, and today's session, as you can see, and I have intimated all of you earlier only, that this session is all about, right, Nabard answer writing. So we'll discuss a lot of things in the today's session, right? And you can see the overall pattern that what we will be discussing today, right? That you should know. And today's session is particularly focused on what? Today's session is particularly focused on your the three important areas with the previous year questions and how they do ask the question. Everything we'll be discussing in the today's session. So are you all ready for the today's journey of 45 minutes? Are you all ready for the today's journey of 45 minutes to take on the answer writing session? Please comment in the comment box so that I can know and I can proceed with the today's session. Mank, Shreyashi, Satpura, Shatrupa, sorry, Harsh, Avinash, Dhruv. Okay. I got Dhruv's message. I got Harsh message first. Divya, thank you. Thank you for just having that and giving the access, right? So that we can start with the today's session. See, Nabard examination, the mains examination, if you talk about, right, that is a 50 marker paper. 50 marker paper for your descriptive, right? And 50 marker is for your objective, right? And another 100 marks is for English descriptive. So we will have a separate session for the English descriptive. Today, our focus is on this 50 marker descriptive, technical descriptive, right? TD that we call in shortcut. So many people, right? Many of you might be fresher. Many of you might be preparing for different banking examination like PO and all, AFO and all. But you think that answer writing is not my cup of tea. I cannot write the answer. I cannot expand the thing. So that is a myth, right? If you know objective well, you can translate that your objective knowledge into subjective thing, right? Very well. If you have certain basic understanding of the thing, how you should frame the answer, how you should think, how you should brainstorm with the process, that is very, very, very important. So in this today's session, we will discuss, right? We will discuss first thing is that the demand of the examination, because we are discussing today of Nabard. UPSC has a different demand, right? Nabard may be having a certain different demand, right? RBI may be having certain different demand when you write the answers. We will then understand this demand of the examination with the help of previous year question, right? What Nabard has asked, we will take the recent question of 2025, what they have asked. Then we'll see the marks range, how the candidates are scoring in their descriptive, right, examination out of 50, how much marks they can stretch upon and what is the range, right, you can expect from it so that you can get a good marks and you get into that select list, right? Then we will be discussing what to practice, how to practice and where to practice. These are the things we will be going on with this today's session. So this is the next slide, right? I think the slide is clearly visible to all of you. The next slide is clearly visible to all of you. So the next slide you can see is related to the demand of the examination. That is the first point of our discussion. Because without this, right, we cannot understand that how we have to prepare, right, and how we have to practice with the thing. So as you can see, the demand of the examination is what? The first demand of Nabard examination is a 15-marker question. The next demand of Nabard examination is a 10-marker question, right? 15-marker question and 10-marker question. So your preparation needs to be done in between these two. Now, in between these two, we have two things, the 600 words and 400 words. So whenever you think or whenever you write upon, your practice should be ranging in between 400 to 600 words. 400 to 600 words. Now, this is a very simple thing that most of you might be knowing when you're preparing for the examination, that I have to write for 600 words, I have to write for 400 words. But in that pressurized situation, when the time is ticking, tick, 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 tick like that, and you are typing and you're thinking simultaneously, the word limit that you want to reach of 600 or the word limit that you want to reach of 400, that is not coming, right? So to get into that process, that how I can write around 550 words, 560 words, or how I can write around 350 words, 320 words, 380 words for a 400 marker question, for a 400 words question is very important for a 10 marker question. That is very, very, very important. So I will be discussing today this process with an example of previous year question, that how you can think upon in this process. Okay? So in the examination, the demand is of 600 words for a 15 marker question, 400 words for a 10 marker question. The number of question for a 15 marker will be around 3. And the number of question for a 400 word answer, that is 10 marker question, will be 3. So in total, you will be getting what? 6 questions in the examination. Out of that, you have to solve how many we'll be discussing. So in the examination, you will be getting 15 marker question. One you have to solve, right? One 10 marker you have to solve, right? It comes to around 25 marks. Then again, one 15 marker of ESI and one 10 marker of your ESI, 25. So total leads to your 50 marks, right? So we will see that how we can do, how we can practice and how we can think for this 600, 400 words in a 15 marker, 10 marker question. So this is a general idea. What is the demand of Nabard examination for you, right? How many questions will come and how many words you have to write. Now we will understand this demand of examination with previous year question, because talking blankly without any base is useless. So we will talk this with the help of your what? With the help of your previous year question of 2024. This is the latest, right? What you can get. So the composition, try to understand, right? Try to understand the composition of the examination. 2024, they have asked, see, 15 marker, 3 questions are there that I was telling you. Question number 1, question number 2, question number 3, 15 marker. There are 3 questions of 15 marker, and there are 3 questions of your 10 marker, right? This one, 4, 5, and 6. So in total, if you add, it is 6 number question, right? In that, you have to answer what? You have to answer 15 marker 2 question, 10 marker 2 question, 30, 20, that gives 50 marks. So this I'm telling because many fresh aspirants are also there. They don't know with the process. So just to give them this idea, this is necessary. Now, if you see, right, this is not the end of the story that this is the previous year question. What is the, right? What is the important thing that you should know in this examination is that the first question of the 15 marker, the first question of the 15 marker is C. Means it is compulsory. You have to answer this question and you have the alternative to choose between these 2 questions. You can make decision between this alternative 1 and alternative 2, but you have to answer, my dear friends. This is compulsory question for you. And out of this 3 questions, 4, 5, and 6, that is of 10 marker, this question is again C in nature, that is compulsory. You cannot skip this question, right? So you have to write the answer for this question. Now we will go through. Just give me time. I will connect the charger to my laptop. Getting it down. Yeah. So what I was talking about is that see, this question is compulsory, and till now, right, from 2021, when Nabard is conducting, right, when Nabard is conducting the mains examination, right, the mains examination, the descriptive pattern of the examination, what is happening is that, question number 1, the question number 1 is compulsory in nature, and that is coming from agriculture every year. We have also seen in the history, the compulsory question they have asked very tricky question that was in 21, right? 21 or 22. They have asked certain question related to animal husbandry. They have asked certain question related to animal husbandry, right? So this is a takeaway, right? Major takeaway that we cannot ignore the agriculture portion that they have given for the descriptive. Like this year, 2024, they have asked question from what? They have asked question from post-harvest management. What are the benefits of post-harvest management, value addition, supply chain development, and horticultural crops? So if you go through the syllabus of Nabard, right? If you go through the syllabus of Nabard, the supply chain part is specifically mentioned in the syllabus. The post-harvest is specifically mentioned in the syllabus. That's why they have asked this question. And this is a compulsory question. You cannot escape this question. Before attempting other, you have to attempt this question. So ARD becomes compulsory. The first question, you should be ready that it will be coming from ARD mostly, as it has happened from the last years when Nabard started conducting the descriptive examination. Now coming on to the 2 questions, the questions of your ESI, right? Rest of the 2 questions, you can select one. This question they have asked from ESI. This question they have asked from ESI. That means the last year, they have followed a very good arithmetic that if you are answering the question number from ARD, the other question you have to answer is from the ESI. See, now financial inclusion, right? And the institutional credit, rural credit framework. Both the thing they have mentioned very clearly in what? Both the thing they have mentioned very clearly in the syllabus of Nabard. Now that's why when I take your classes, that I say every time that syllabus should resonate in your mind. Syllabus should resonate in your mind because from the syllabus only mostly they are taking away or framing the questions. So this is very important that syllabus should always be there in your mind. Without that, you cannot, right, correlate the thing, interrelate the current thing, and you can write a very good answer in the examination. So that's why I say whenever you're solving the objective areas, if your objective is strong, your subjective will also become strong, because those current points you can inculcate, you can include in the descriptive answer, that will give a value, that will give a gravity to your answer, that will not be right catered by the other students. So whenever you're solving some say power play questions of mine, so you think that okay, this is a power play question, this is a question from NAFIS reports are as right given, right? This is an animal husbandry scheme that I'm solving, that you people might have solved the yesterday's animal husbandry related schemes, right, of the government. We have a specific test yesterday. So think on this. Okay, this is a very good point, right? I can include in the descriptive. So like that, you have to keep on thinking when you're solving the objective. Do not blindly study the thing. Always try to, right, have your eyes, your ears open, that yes, I'm reading this. Okay, this is in the syllabus. I can include this point there. Okay, this is in the syllabus. I can include in that. That is a very good point. Having a separate diary and noting down is very important. Now, this 10 marker, you will see that if you leave the right 1 or 2 year, we have seen in last 2024 and 2022 again, they have asked this question compulsory, that is 10 marker. They are asking scheme based question. It is not a right fixed rule, but this is an observation, right? That has come in the 2 year, that 10 marker there. Again, this is a compulsory. You cannot escape this scheme based question. So you have to write about this PM Vishwakarma, you have to write about this Samita. Since they have given, see, this question is very simple because two schemes are combined. So only you have to write 500, 500, that 5 marks, 5 marks, that means 200 words here, 200 words here. So any student who is preparing for Nabard very well, he has studied so many objective points under PM Vishwakarma. He has studied so many objective points under Swamit scheme, that when this scheme were launched, what are the objectives of the scheme? What is the logic? Why government has right given this scheme? What are the pros of this schemes? How the people are getting benefited? So in this way, broadly, if you think also, you can include and you can write points. If you just know just that what is PM Vishwakarma, if you know just what is Swamit scheme related to the digitalization of the land records. Next, see again, here since they have given a question on ESI compulsory question, the other two questions they have very cleverly set from the ARD. Here what you have seen, the question number was, one number was compulsory from the ARD, then you have the two options from the ESI. Here what they have set, the compulsory question from the ESI, then the other two options you have to solve from the ARD. So very calculated, right? In a very clever manner, they have set the question. They have not set the question randomly. So you should have equal knowledge of both ESI and ARD. So if you see 3 questions from ARD in total, 3 questions from ESI in total, where you have to answer two from each, right? Two for 15 marker, two for 10 marker, right? So this is the overall theme of the last year's examination that Nabard has conducted in recent 2024, because last 2 year we take it as a base for the next year preparation, right? 2023 question, 2024 question. There is no meaning of solving 2014, 15, 16 questions. So 2024, 2023 will act as a base for 2025. Now, if this demand of the question, right, if this arithmetic of the question, if the composition of the question in ARD, ESI, and the marks is clear to you, we will go on how you can think upon with the answer process. If you say yes, I will be moving on to the next slide. How we can right frame the answer, how we can think, how we can decode the answer. Just comment yes. Shall we move on to the next? Demand is clear to everyone. Mang, Dhruv, Divya, Shreyoshi, Abhishek. The demand of the examination, the questions, what type of question they are asking, what is the composition, which question you have to answer, right? Is clear? Okay, fine. We will now move on to the main part, because this is necessary. Once we start thinking with the process, right? This is necessary that you should understand, right? What is the need or demand of the examination? Now, marks range also I have said to you. So this is, these are the, right? Mark sheet of the toppers of the last year. This year marks are still not out. So I've taken the mark sheet of the last year toppers. So you can see right now today we are discussing what? We are today discussing this portion. This is also selected candidate, right? So we'll see that how much they are scoring, how much they are scoring in the technical. We are discussing today on the technical, not on the English. So you can see out of 50, the marks could be ranged to 40s, 40, 41, 42, 43, 38, 39. So anybody scoring in the marks range of 38 to 43 is good marks. If you can stretch, right, your marks in the technical descriptive to 43, 44, then that is very good marks. So the marks range is clear to everyone that if somebody has got 30, 32, 33, how much you can work upon to get this marks of 43, 40, and how to work upon that, we will discuss. That is more important. To just you people should get an idea that how much we can score. हम कितना score कर सकते हैं, right? इसमें ये बहुत जरूरी है. That will give you a motivation that I can do more. So the range is clear. Range is clear. Okay, good. So Abhishek, what should be your target for the coming year? Out of 50, how much you will target? Please comment, Abhishek. Dhruv, what will be your target for the coming year? Out of 50. Out of 50, what you will target? Seeing the toppers marks, what you will target? I want the numbers. I want the marks. What you will target? Very good. 45, 40 to 45. Very good. Optimistic range. Abhishek. Very good. Very good. So this range, what I wanted to hear from you was this range, what Abhishek has said, very good, 40 to 45. So in this range, if you target, if you get 39 also, I am satisfied with your performance. In this range, if you get 39 marks also, I am satisfied with your performance. No need to worry. We will manage 1 or 2 marks in the objective or in the English portion. So very good. This should be your target, 40 to 45 marks. Now the question is how to achieve that target. Targeting is easy, but achieving that target becomes very difficult, my dear friends, right? You can score 32, 33, 35 very easily. Reaching this score of 32 to 35 is very easy with minimal knowledge also, with minimal writing also, you can reach this. But to breach this 35 limit and to go to that 40 and beyond is little bit difficult, but with practice, it can be achieved. It's like the nervous 90s of the Sachin Tendulkar. It's the 40s over here that you have to preach. And for preaching this 40 mark, you need to stand out a little bit different, a little bit different from your competitors. This is you, and these are your competitors. Now, how to stand different from your competitors? That is the question. How to stand different from your competitors to reach this 40 marks, right, level in the descriptive paper. I will discuss certain ideas, right? I think it will suit you and it will also help the fresh aspirants to prepare in that direction. It will also help the fresh aspirants to prepare on that direction. These ideas are going to be very important, especially for the new students. Those who are writing UPSC and all, they might be knowing many of the things, but it will help a lot of students and they have done this. So now let's come to this. Now let's come to this. The new screen is visible to everyone. Practicing the right way, right? The key is practicing the right way. In YouTube streaming, some 30-second, 40-second lag may be there. What I am speaking, it's reaching to you in 30 seconds late, maybe. So see, this is a very simple figure, but that tells a lot of story, right? This is a very simple graphical representation in front of you. But this simple graphical representation tells a lot to do, lot to work, a right way to think, a right way to practice with the things, right? How we should practice, what we should practice. This is very important. When we try to understand this overall theme with the help of one of the questions of 2024, that is in right in the screen in green color, you all can observe. The first part, practicing the right way, is decoding. The first part, practicing the right way, is decoding. Okay. Now, when I say decoding, right? When I say decoding, what do you mean by decoding over here? See, what is the major problem with the aspirant is that because I talk to so many aspirants, right? In this years, they are giving the examination. After the examination, they are calling to me. So, what are the practical difficulties I know, right? Right? What are the practical difficulties I know? Because I'm interacting with so many students and I'm looking into so many things, right? ARD, ESA. So I have the complete knowledge of everything. So I just try to analyze that where the students are facing the difficulties, right, in answering this. So we'll discuss this. So when we say decoding the thing, we will understand with the help of this question also. But before that, see the decoding means subparts, the context, the word range of each part, and word range of each part out of the total number of words they have asked. So let's see this question that is given in green color below. This is 2024 year question of Nabard means what is the institutional rural credit framework in India? The question is saying what is the institutional rural credit framework in India? What measures have been taken by the government to improve rural credit access? Now, when the new student, right, when a fresh student or any veteran maybe, when you are picking up the questions in the examination, what it matters is that first try to decode this question. Decoding the question is first part is you just look into how many subpart it has. How many parts do the question have? It has two, it has three, or it has only one. So you have to look out for it. It has one part, it has two subparts, or it has three parts. Now, in this question, can you say how many subparts are there? What the examiner wants from you? What are the what are the things examiner is wanting from you? How many subpart this question has? One, two, or three? Please tell me. How many subparts this question has? It has two subparts, very clear. It has two subparts. The first is saying, what is IRCF? The second part is talking about measures taken by the government to improve this IRCF. What it is, right? And what are the measures? So clearly it has two parts, right? Two parts in the question. Two things that you need to answer. Subparts. Now, very important thing I'm going to discuss. Please have patience and listen to it clearly. The next thing is the context. The next thing you have to fastly think upon that what is the context of the question. Now, the context of the question examiner is very clear, right? Examiner is very clear. He is asking about the IR. He is asking about the institutional credit, right? Institutional rural credit. He is not asking about credit. He is not asking about the non-institutional sources of credit. He is very particular about IRC. Now, what aspirants do in the pressurized situation, they start typing anything, they are writing about the rural credit rate, they are writing also about the non-institutional credit, but examiner evaluator has given you only 600 words, and that for 600 word you have to write two subparts. And if you write unnecessary things about the rural credit, about the non-institutional sources of credit, and filling up the answer space, he is very clever to give you right average marks. Out of 15, he can give you 5, 6, 7 like that. But the context should be very clear that he wants knowledge from you is about institutional rural credit framework. Now, again, see the examiner is right asking what he is asking, my dear friends, the framework of it. He is not asking what is institutional rural credit. He do not have any interest in this. He expects that you know that what are institutional credit, what are non-institutional credit, but he is asking from you is that what is institutional rural credit framework in India. So if you keep on writing that what is institutional rural credit, this and that, right? So the examiner or the evaluator will not be happy. So the context of the question is very clear that we have discussed that you have to understand what he is asking. He is asking about institutional rural credit framework. He is not asking about the rural credit framework. He is asking about the institutional rural credit framework. So that can be done in a different way. The next is he is asking about the measures. Now, see very clearly the context of the question, my dear friends. He is asking measures. He is asking measures of what most of you people have done in the last year, and you still say that, sir, I have written 500 words. I have satisfied the word limit. I have written 600 words. Shall I get the full marks? Right? Like 10 marks, 12 marks, 13 marks, like that. But measures में what they have, उन्होंने schemes लिख के आ गए. They have just written the schemes. तो एग्जामिनर आपको डायरेक्टली पूछ लेता ना, भाई क्या क्या स्कीम्स है. Examiners would have asked you directly what are the schemes. Why he has written the measures? Why he has not written the schemes? He wants measures from you. He does not want the schemes from you, my dear friends. So that should be clear that measures do not mean that scheme you have to write. The measures means measures. Measures can be in multiple direction. There can be multiple dimensions of the measures taken by the government of India. So that should be very clear. So are you getting the context of this question, my dear friend? थोड़ा थोड़ा clear हो रहा the context. What the context is asking. The measures. समझ में आ रहा? Everybody is getting. What do we mean when I say the context of the question should be clear to you? Are you getting the context in this case? Tanushri, Yashada, Tushar. ठीक है? So we will discuss. I will discuss this thing. So this is the second thing you must observe in the question. The third thing is word range out of each part. Now there are two parts. So since it is a 15 marker question, that means you have 600 words to write. This year they have given the range 580 to 600. 580 to 600. Now you have to write this. Now word range, you have to now very cleverly fastly think upon, okay, there are two parts. I have to write 600 words. Some words will be consumed by introduction. Some will be consumed by the conclusion. To satisfy these two parts, how many words I have, right? So I cannot write a big introduction. I cannot write a big conclusion, because in this 600 words, I have to explain two things to the examiner what he is wanting from me, the framework and the measures. So introduction लिखने में बहुत ज़्यादा टाइम वेस्ट नहीं करेंगे, कंक्लूजन लिखने में भी बहुत ज़्यादा टाइम वेस्ट नहीं करेंगे. जो एग्जामिनर ने पूछा है कॉन्टेक्स्ट, उसको एक्सप्लेन करने में हम सबसे ज्यादा टाइम अपना वहां पे इन्वेस्ट करेंगे to explain these two parts. I will show you how you can think upon, right, to these points. मैं आपको pointers के हिसाब से समझाऊं. Now again, one thing, whenever in my classes also, I keep on insisting, I keep on telling to you that always think from B to S. Always think from B to S. इसका मतलब होता है always think from broad to specific. Always think from broad to specific, not specific to broad. Pale, you have to think about the outer circle, then you zero into the smallest circle, right? In this way, you have to think. That is very important. Now, once you have known the context, you should know that which part of the syllabus they have asked the question. So this is a question of your ESI. And ESI, they have given the rural credit. Now, fastly, your brain should work because if you're a good student, if you have done some groundwork, you have done some groundwork for the static syllabus they have given. आपने जरूर पढ़ा होगा. You must have studied or made notes of rural credit. So fastly, your brain should go to your notebook, virtually thinking that yes, I have written this point in my notebook. I can utilize in this point in this question this. So you have to correlate everything. When everything synchronizes, now your answers become perfect. You should not think blank because many of you say that my mind goes blank, sir, when I see the question. I'm not able to think. So why do you not able to think? Because you cannot correlate with the syllabus. If you correlate with the syllabus, your mind is not going to your notebook where you have made some further points, or your mind is not going to our notes, which we have given to you where these points are written. So always try to correlate the thing with the syllabus. Your brain will then synchronize with the notes. This all thing happens right consciously. ये सब कुछ subconsciously back of the mind keeps on running in our mind, and there only we get the point. That's why you some people get blank, that the points are not coming. So that's why think broad to specific, try to correlate with the syllabus. Then your mind should think that is Nabard doing anything related to it? Because we have seen in the past, if the students are giving examples from Nabard's work related to that question, they are getting good marks. If they are able to cite the examples of the Nabard's work in that, they are getting good marks. Is Nabard not doing, then is Government of India doing something? You have to think on that. You have to think on the evaluation and the contemporary issues on that field. रूरल क्रेडिट कैसे इवॉल्व हुआ, उससे आपके दिमाग में कुछ पॉइंट्स आएंगे. कंटेम्पररी इश्यूज क्या चल रहा है, बजट में क्या लोकेशन है, व्हाट आर द थिंग्स गोइंग ऑन इन द बजट, व्हाट आर द गवर्नमेंट स्टेप्स टेकन, उससे कुछ पॉइंट्स आपके दिमाग में आएंगे. यू विल नॉट गो ब्लैंक. Everything in this world has pros and cons. So you have to think the positive thing, you have to think on the negative thing. In that way also, you will be getting some points will coming to your mind, and you can frame your answer. You will not go blank. So second step is this. Now the third statement, this is the thinking process that will take around 1 to 2 minutes. With practice, this two process will take 1 to 2 minutes of time. Then after this, the main thing starts, that is writing the answer. The presentation of the answer is most important. If you know minimal point also, if you present your answer well, right, with examples, with subheaders, right, you will get good marks in the examination. So your presentation part starts with introduction, body, conclusion, or way forward. Now 10 to 15% you can reserve for your introduction. 10 to 15% of the words you can reserve for your conclusion, and the 70 to 80% you will reserve for your body. So if it is 600 marks, so 60, 70 words you will have for introduction, 60, 70 or up to 90 it can go for your conclusion. Rest of the thing, 600 marks, say 100 marks, 100 words if you remove, or more 20 words you remove, you are left with 400 to 420 words for your this part, the main body part, that you have to just justify these two parts that they have asked in the examination. Then next presentation thing is that you should think from subheader. You should think on subheader. Whatever the key point is there, you can introduce it as a subheader. Try to think upon the statistics. If you think about the agriculture credit, many things can come to your mind. The budgetary allocations of the recent government, right? The budget recommendations, the NAFIS report, the RBI reports are there, internal working group committee reports are there. Then NAFIS report is there that says what is the institutional credit flow, right, to the people. Then capitalization you can do for the subheader if it is of one or two word. If it is of long, you cannot do capitalization. Capitalization means writing in capital. So capitalization can only be done if it is a one or two word subheader. There only you can capitalize and you can reflect your major point to the evaluator. So these are the basic things to write the answer. Now, how to write the question for, or how to think better to say, I will not say how to write, but I want to make you people evolve. I do not want to do the spoon feeding to you. I want that you should evolve. मैं आपको दिखाऊंगा कि कैसे इसमें हम सोच सकते हैं इसको आंसर लिखते हुए क्या पॉइंट्स हमारे दिमाग में आने चाहिए. So this practicing the right way, the basic framework is clear, then we can go to the answer of this question, how we can think. Clear? Practicing the right way to everyone? Okay, fine. So we will be moving on to the final part of our discussion. We'll be moving on to the final part of our discussion, how we can answer this question. So this is the question. What is the institutional rural credit firm? Now decoding context, right? Decoding the context. The context is as I discussed with you people, it is talking the context about the institutional credit, its framework, and the measures. So these two are the main context that examiner wants it from you. These are the two things. Now, introduction. I said you introduction. Now, examiner, when he is giving this question to you, institutional credit, he knows that you know about the rural credit. He knows that you know what is institutional credit, what is non-institutional credit. So do not start your introduction with the definition. This is the thing only you can go if you are not finding anything else. कुछ भी आपको नहीं आ रहा तब आप definition पे जाइए. Because इस question को देने का मतलब है the examiner is clear that the question will be the overall structure of rural credit is known to you. That's why he's asking the specific part from it. So definition, you can go what is rural credit or what is institutional rural credit. The definition you can only go if you think, if you're not getting any other point. So you can just mention some statistics to start with the rural credit. That will take around 50-60 words. Introduction हो गया. Then body one, the institutional rural credit framework. That what are the frameworks that comes to your mind? You can write in point wise. The body two, ask about the measures. This what I was saying to you that many of you what have done. You have written the scheme measures and and expecting that you'll be getting good marks. So he is asking the measures to access this credit. What government has done? So government has taken multiple steps and multiple directions. It can be administrative measures, it can be legal measures, it can be technical measures, it can be social measures, it can be economic measures. मेजर का मतलब ये होता है, मेजर का मतलब सिर्फ स्कीम नहीं होता है. सो यू हैव टू थिंक मल्टी डायमेंशनली. The more dimension and more examples you will give, the better marks you will get in the examination. Now conclude, you can conclude this question by two ways. Conclusion का मतलब होता है you are ending on a positive note that we have done a great work, we have achieved a lot, or you can go for way forward that we have done great work, but more needs to be done. The more needs to be done will be there, then you will write the heading as way forward. When you are ending with a good note that we have done sufficient, then you will be writing conclusion. And there is nothing to write. When you start your answer, you write introduction. बहुत से लोग बोलेंगे if you're not doing, that is a wrong thing, because more you will show to them, the better marks you will get, because so many copies they are evaluating. When you are writing the conclusion, give the heading as conclusion or way forward, then write the thing. That is the better way. That's for the 43 marks, what I've shown to you, right? The student has used this strategies in her answer script and she has got 43. Okay? So this is there. Now we will see what points we can think on this, right? Just I will give you the brief outline of the answer. You can write number of points in your way also. Just I will give a brief outline, not the total answer. So this is the question. This is the introduction. Now, since I told you the examiner knows that you are knowing that what is rural credit or what is institutional rural credit. So I have given an introduction from the NAFIS report, because everybody who prepares for Nabard examination, is reading, is studying the NAFIS report. तो पढ़ के ही जाना आपको. So you are knowing that in NAFIS report they give the data, right? They give the data that what is the institution source of credit, what is, सबको ये याद रहता है. जो भी आप एग्जाम लिखने जाते हो नबार्ड में, ये डेटा तो सबको पता होता है. Everybody knows this data. So I just written a simple introduction, not the definition. If you don't know anything, then go for the definition because the examiner knows. Then what is the rural credit framework? So rural credit framework can be multiple. So just try to highlight the main things initially, that these and these are the rural credit framework, taking certain enactment year, by taking certain committee's name. The more you will take this, your answer will have some weight, your answer will have some gravity. You will be leaving behind your competitors here. Now, सबको पता होता है ये, but they are not able to present in their answer. Now, regional rural banks, who does not know? A candidate who prepares for Nabard, a candidate who prepares for RBI knows that the bank came with the recommendation of Narasimhan Committee report, right, on rural credit 1975. तो इसको मैंने ब्रैकेट में लिख दिया. यहाँ पे लिखने के बाद after giving the subheader, then I will explain in one line. One line I will write something on the RRBs and I will end it. Then cooperative banks, I will give a simple arithmetic representation that cooperative banks is equal to short term plus long term credit. It came, right, started, its evolution started with this act. I will put in bracket, then I will expand it. Public sector bank, nationalization and priority sector lending norm, who does not knows 40% criteria, right? In that you have to have the, you have to give the agriculture credit, right? You have to give the credit to the MSME enterprises. So many things are there. Now, this is one thing that you, many of you cannot think, multi-dimension. Warehouse भी तो credit देते हैं, warehousing development authority loans, right? Negotiable warehouse receipts. Then I will expand this in one line. Then SHGs, GLGs, since these are recognized by the government, I have taken in the institutional rural credit framework only, right? So Nabard bank linkage program of 1992, Nabard का नाम फिर से मैंने ले लिया किसी तरह, right? This is how I will try to introduce the initiatives of the Nabard in my answer. So because I am appearing for the organization, जिसके लिए मैं अपियर हो रहा हूँ एग्जामिनेशन के लिए, उसको बार बार आपको कोट करने से, उसके एग्जांपल्स अच्छे देने से, that will have a positive repercussions in your, right, marking. This is there. Now the steps taken by the government, administrative measures, minimizing the bureaucracy and the red tapeism, this is also a measure. Social financial literacy programs of the government, technological interventions like UPI, digital verification, digital RAN records, Swamitra scheme, economic, doubling the farmers' income by Dalwai committee. So that has given better repaying and the right access to the loans and repaying capacity for the farmers. Economic measure हो गया. Legal measures में the RBI rules regulation and the rules regulations of the ministry. Then the policy levels, we will be going for the last thing, that is schemes like KCC, modified interest subvention, Nabard subsidy and refinance. इसको आप फिर expand कर सकते हो, right? One line to two line as per your speed and time ability. Lastly, you can go for way forward. The situation has improved, but still penetration of institutional credit needs to be efficient, as only as 85% of farmers, ये किसको पता नहीं है? Everybody, all of you preparing for Nabard know that 85% small and marginal farmer, उसको मैंने यहाँ पे include कर लिया. I've included this point as a conclusion because they need more attention. ऐसे करके I have concluded the answer. So this is how you have to think upon. This is a framework of thought process. This is a framework of what examiner is wanting and what you're writing in your answer. You're not writing bullshit or anything and you're expecting that 600 what I made, I will getting a good marks in the examination. No, you have to meet the expectation of examiner, of evaluator, with good set of example, with good set of context, what he has asked, not the context what you are thinking. You have to satisfy his context of question, not the context what your mindset has. That is very, very, very important, not only in Nabard, also in UPSC examination. So I think this clarifies most of your doubt, right? And it will help you a lot. We will be soon starting with the descriptive series in our mentorship program, right? I think from the month of April, we'll be going for that. All of you can practice and take the advantage of that. If you want, you can join our Nabard mentorship, because you know that we are known for giving the highest number of results in Nabard mentorship, which other institutions are giving. The list is also been publicly shared to you in the Telegram in our website. Okay? So that's all for today, my dear friends. The time is limited. We have another session from 9 p.m. I will end this today's session. Hope you have enjoyed the today's session, please share this video so that the other people also gets the benefit, and hit the like button if you liked the today's session. Bye bye, my dear friends. Take care. Good night. Bye bye.